Inside America's silent strike, how B-2 bombers enter enemy airspace unseen. What if I told you the United States has a bomber that can fly across the globe, undetected, deep into enemy territory, without anyone ever knowing it's there? This isn't science fiction, it's real, and it's called the B-2 Spirit. Today, we reveal how this ghost of the skies enters hostile airspace without being seen. Step into the shadowy world of America's stealth operations. In this video, we explore how the B-2 Spirit stealth bomber silently enters enemy territory without being detected. From radar-absorbing materials to secret missions across the globe, discover why the B-2 remains one of the most feared aircraft in the skies. Watch the full story behind America's most powerful invisible weapon. The B-2 Spirit, a flying shadow. A weapon built for one mission: strike without warning. Designed by Northrop Grumman, the B-2 is the world's most advanced stealth bomber. It can fly over 11,000 kilometers without refueling, and it can carry both conventional and nuclear weapons. But what truly makes it special is silence. When the B-2 is deployed, it vanishes from radar, evades air defenses, and delivers its strike before anyone even knows it was there. This is how America's ghost bomber enters enemy airspace unseen. The secret begins with design. The B-2's shape is not like any normal aircraft. It's a flying wing, with no tail and no vertical surfaces. This makes it very hard for radar to detect. Most radar systems bounce signals off sharp edges, but the B-2's smooth shape reflects radar away from the source. It's also covered in a special material called RAM, radar absorbent material. This coating absorbs radar waves instead of bouncing them back. Even the engine exhaust is hidden deep inside the body to reduce heat signature. In simple terms, the B-2 is built to disappear. This isn't just theory. The B-2 has already proven itself in real combat. In 1999, it flew non-stop from Missouri to Serbia, striking targets during the Kosovo War. In 2003, it dropped bombs in the opening night of the Iraq War, again flying halfway across the world unseen. One of the most impressive missions happened in 2017. Two B-2s flew from the US to Libya. They struck a terrorist camp with 85 precision-guided bombs, then returned home, without stopping, without being detected. That's over 30 hours of flight time, all in total silence. So how does the B-2 navigate? It uses advanced satellite guidance, GPS, and terrain-matching radar. It can follow the shape of the ground below, even in complete darkness. The B-2 flies at high altitude to avoid detection, but it can also drop to low levels to avoid radar zones. Pilots follow pre-planned routes, calculated to avoid known enemy radar. Everything is encrypted. Sometimes there is no communication at all during missions. Silence is the strategy. Each B-2 mission is flown by just 2 pilots, but behind the scenes, dozens of people help plan the mission. Pilots train for weeks before flying. They simulate the flight, study the route, and plan fuel and weapon loads. The cockpit is small and quiet. On long flights, pilots take turns resting, and many missions require air refueling, sometimes 2 or 3 times. The B-2 links with tankers in the air, even over the ocean, to keep flying. It's a team effort, but only 2 people are inside when the bombs are dropped. Some people say stealth is outdated. They're wrong. Modern air defenses like the Russian S-400 or the Chinese HQ-9 can shoot down normal aircraft before they reach their targets, but they still struggle to detect a B-2. That's why the US still relies on stealth. That's why the Pentagon keeps upgrading the B-2, even as it builds the new B-21 Raider. In today's world, where one mistake could start a war, being unseen is more valuable than ever. The B-2 Spirit is not just a machine, it's a symbol of precision, of power, and of silence. It doesn't shout, it whispers, it doesn't warn, it appears and disappears. While the world sleeps, it flies. While enemies prepare, it's already above them. This is America's silent strike. This is the B-2 Spirit. So what happens after the B-2 completes its strike? Unlike other bombers that return to base immediately, the B-2 is often tasked with more than one objective. In a single mission, it may change course mid-flight, receive new coordinates via encrypted satellite link, and strike again. This kind of dynamic retasking, changing targets while already airborne, requires total trust in its stealth and endurance. It's not just about flying unseen. It's about adapting in real time, even in hostile airspace. Now, let's talk about what makes that possible. Logistics and secrecy. Every B-2 base, like Whiteman Air Force Base in Missouri, is designed for complete operational security. Hangars are climate-controlled to preserve the stealth coating. Maintenance crews are cleared at the highest levels. Mission data is transferred using secure, closed systems, often air-gapped from all outside networks. Fueling, arming, and route planning take place behind multiple layers of security. Even among the military, few know when or where a B-2 will fly. B-2 bombers are also deployed forward, quietly. They've flown out of Guam, Diego Garcia, and RAF Fairford in the UK, but most of the time, no announcement is made. The US calls this strategy Bomber Task Force Operations. These deployments are sudden, short-term, and mobile. They're meant to confuse enemies, keep them guessing, and prove that stealth bombers can strike from anywhere at any time. It's not just about firepower, it's psychological warfare. And speaking of firepower, the B-2's weapons are just as advanced as its stealth. It can carry the massive ordnance penetrator, a 30,000-pound bunker buster designed to destroy underground facilities. It also carries precision-guided JDAM bombs, nuclear gravity bombs, and, in the future, the B-6113, a modernized tactical nuke. All of these can be delivered with pinpoint accuracy, even from 40,000 feet. When the B-2 strikes, it doesn't miss. But the B-2's role isn't just offensive. It also plays a key part in nuclear deterrence. Alongside U.S. nuclear submarines and land-based missiles, the B-2 forms one arm of the nuclear triad. Why is this important? Because unlike missiles or submarines, bombers can be recalled. If the president launches a nuclear bomber mission, he can cancel it mid-flight. That flexibility is critical in a world where a single decision could change history. And now, let's talk about what's next. The B-2 Spirit was introduced in 1997, but it's still one of the most advanced aircraft in the world today. Even so, the U.S. is preparing for the next generation, the B-21 Raider. Built by the same company, Northrop Grumman, the B-21 will take everything the B-2 did right and make it even better. Smaller, cheaper, more autonomous, and harder to detect. It's expected to fly in the next few years, but until the B-21 is fully ready, the B-2 still leads the fight.